Hi, welcome to the fifth and final episode of this series of Bounty of the Week. This will be returning next week for anybody who's avidly watching. Like and subscribe, hit that share, etc. And yeah, so last session, the crew of the Bright Beauty, that I always want to call the Blazing Beauty for some reason, I have no idea why, did choose their next bounty, which is Clone Commander 1313, otherwise known as Raider, a survivor of the Clone Wars turned vicious mercenary, rumored to be working for the Imperials in the Corsin system. And now our players are going to introduce themselves as per usual. In fact, rather than introduce your character, why don't you just tell me one thing that your character is, like, give me an insight into what your character's thinking or feeling or expecting or wanting in this session, at this time and place. So let's go in reverse character creeper order. I'm going to not pick on Sabine for once, and I'm going to pick on Rich instead. So, Rich, take it away.
Yay, I get picked on. I am playing Tags, as you can see, the Twi'lek. She is a scoundrel, which is the renamed Crooked, and I think she's feeling about like music selections for her club that she's very excited about opening now that she's made a deal with a hut, and also interested in making sure that Hela makes it out of this thing alive. Pretty interested in that. And quick,
nice.
and blocks, but yeah,
oh yes,
mostly
yeah, priorities, right? And then, speaking of which, Anders.
Yes, hello, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Hela Bain, the expert, she, her, and Hela's thinking is, I think she's a little bit worried about how Quake is going to feel and act going up against a fellow clone. Who knows? It's going to be weird.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be no Spider-Man pointing at each other situations. And then Chet.
Hi, I'm Chet. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns. I'm playing Blocks BLX-8 general purpose labor droid turned noir detective, ? Who uses he, him pronouns. And I'm thinking about the discussion that Quake and I had after the last bounty about the possibility of Black Sun's involvement in my professor's fate, demise, possibly, or and whether the Black Sun elements in Quake's past might be involved.
Dun, dun, dun. Very noirish.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, and that was a great segue again. Like you've all, it's like we scripted this. One of you's led on to the other character, Sabine, if you'd like to take it away.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Quake, who uses he, him pronouns, who is himself a clone, relic of the Clone Wars, I guess. What he's worried about is how will we deal with a clone, because clone has fought a lot, and because these guys, clones like him, are pretty good soldiers, and he's a medic. He's not a soldier. He's not a specialist or anything. He's not an ARC trooper or something like that. So he feels like this could get really hairy. He's not too worried about that being his brother. He has millions of brothers. But the whole thing with clones being elite soldiers and really good at what they do, that worries him. Also, clones rarely come by themselves. So that might be a thing too. Who knows? Maybe Raider is totally old. That could also be a thing. How did he? Yeah, that would be. That's what he's thinking about. Not in terms of how do I make peace with my dear old brother. It's more like, how do we kill this? How do we overcome this guy?
Well, I mean, how many times has Quake had to kill a clone before?
It has happened because when they worked for the Empire and he was a mercenary who worked against the Empire, so there was conflict. And one of the times he realized that he was fighting his brothers, but they were committing atrocities. So
difficult places for an old soldier, right? But you know, we get the title credits of all of that coming down. And then it pans across to the rock floating in space. And I guess, you know, well, Sabine has already expressed that that Quake would like to do a bit more investigation before setting off from the rock. So Sabine, if you'd like to frame that scene for me.
yeah, I think what Quake will do is reach out to old contacts. He has this whole thing with his agency where he can just go and maybe ask, get someone online, get one of his old brothers, try to figure out if this Raider dude has other clones with him. Because if they work for the Empire, if he worked for the Empire, he might have his old comrades with him. Another thing I would like to know is how old does he present? Because Quake himself presents as mid-60s. Is actually, I think, mid-40s, but yeah, you know, he's done a lot of rejuvenation stuff, and he had gene therapy to be able to function at kind of optimal physicality. But what about Raider? How young does he look? Did he get
daily regimen of sleeping in a back tank and thinking about times past?
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, would you like to roll me deal with your agency?
Yeah, as soon as I find
reach out to the Unbound
roll thingy. Let me, of course I didn't open up the dice roller before because that would have been useful, but I didn't. So where am I? What do I roll with? Who am I? Sharp. Okay. Yes. Thank you. That's +1. The dice. This is 9.
A 9. So on a 9, they can help, but their involvement is going to complicate things.
Of course.
So the first question was, does this Raider, you know, have any backup, essentially, right? Like, what does he move with? And who in the Unbound do you think you're talking to? Like, what kind of, you know, how do you think this message is? It like an information broker who works for the Unbound?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe somebody who is kind of retired from the life by now, who sits on this ship that they use as a base, the Garden of Allah, and who's there and who's just like gathering information. Maybe it's kind of like a gossipy old Trandoshan, right?
Gossipy old Trandoshan, yes.
Yeah.
Quake, so good to hear from you. You keeping well?
Reasonably, keeping busy.
Yes, so busy in the galaxy these days.
Yeah, I'm looking for a guy called Raider. He's a clone like me, and there's a bounty on him, to be perfectly frank, and I'm looking to, my crew wants to get him, and so I'm stuck with them. So I wonder if there's any knowledge about him, who he runs with, and there is some. Did we lose somebody? No.
No, Anders just turned his video off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, an old clone, a mercenary, lots of similarities. Yes, but I think you and Raider differ in many ways. Yes. A little Jawa told me that he works for Zinj these days.
Of course he does.
And Zinj, he doesn't run with his old unit. Much like yourself, he has a lone clone. But
he has a what? Excuse me.
He's a lone clone.
Alone.
I couldn't resist. noticed that.
makes things simpler, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. I feel that deserves some air to breathe. Yes, thank you.
But he does has been known to work with some of Zinji's top line troops, the Raptors, they call them.
But they're non-clone elite soldiers, I guess.
They say they never take off their helmets.
Okay.
They could be
I
clones.
wonder how
could
they
be...
eat. Wonder how they eat.
Well, if it worked for the Mandalorians, I guess it works for them. But yes, but so it is said that Raider uses his ship, the Camino's Teeth, and he transports his group of commandos at Zinji's command.
Okay. Do we have any idea how fit he is? Because we get old really fast.
And I would like to ask Sabine, the player, what would you like? Because I have an idea that Raider could be, like a fairly fresh-looking clone. But if you would like him to be of a similar age and appearance to, then
he was
Raider...
with the Empire, so they maybe really stashed him in the Bacta tank all the time and gave him really good rejuvenation stuff. And that, I don't mind. Maybe he could be a lot younger than Quake anyway.
They say that Raider has died over and over again. They say he was at Endor. They say that he was at Hoth. They say he was at the what's it called? Off at the Orion's Gate. But every time he still goes, and he seems to be in peak condition.
Damn. Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Well,
thank you.
From one old mercenary to another. Good hunting.
Thank you. Maurice, thank you. Let's hope to see you soon.
I'm afraid if you're going into the Corsin sector, we won't be able to offer any more help from the Unbound. There is a binding contract with the corporate sector that says that we must not operate within that region.
Yeah, I do. I know, Maurice. I know. I've heard that before. Say hi to Zara if you hear from her.
If I can remember what name that ship is going by, I will. And he'll, why not? And he'll finish off with, and watch out for Lady Vader. Cool. So, the catch was basically that this is the extent of the Unbound. I know that's a bit of a lazy one, but it's an easy complication to have, right? Okay. So, anything more before we leave for hyperspace? Anyone?
Do we have the info on the planet he's located on, right?
Yes, it is Corsin, we look up the Star Tours guide again.
Bing, bing.
Bing bong. Corsin is a planet that has largely been settled around the temperate and tropical regions. Once a tourist destination under the days of the Galactic Republic, a rather strict security system has been put in place under the Imperials. However, Corsin remains a hotspot for swoop racers across the galaxy. The Pluriad 940 has been a hotspot on the track circuit for centuries. The cities of Corsin are heavily forested, and it is not a densely populated planet. Recently, it has become the site of some contention between Zinj and the New Republic. Amber advisory warning.
I think that actually blocks I want to do some research to see if there are any active conflicts between Zinj and the New Republic going on there. Like, is there any word of
read
say
a bad
New
situation.
Republic troops staged there?
Yeah. Okay. Read a bad situation.
Ooh, near hit 7.
A 7. Well, that gives you 1 hold to spend on a question, which I guess would be, are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet? Essentially, right here, and that would be that it's this. As the New Republic fleet being led by one Admiral Kalbak, a Mon Calamari general, that is looking to create a foothold in the Hylian Way and Corsin as a prospective battleground in Zinj, in the battle between Zinji. There, in fact, it's rumored that Corsin's in near total open rebellion against the Empire at the moment.
This could be useful. We could use this as some amount of backup, as it were, or a distraction. Distractions are always useful. He thinks, thinking back to the distraction that he made by blowing up a recon walker and then having his arm chopped off.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So, does anyone have any more questions they want to ask before they get into the Corsin system? Or Rich? No.
No, I'm good. I think Tags is just piloting away, listening to various cuts and music.
And Andish, anything? I don't want to cut you off if you don't. If you do.
No, no, I don't think so. I will hit my dark past move sometime this session, but I think I want to have know a little bit more about what's going on.
Cool. Ben, I think that Blocks was actually telling you this as you were in hyperspace, right? Giving you the update on the New Republic fleet and etc. Right, and then there's a little like a red light appears on one of the panels, and then as you start to come out of hyperspace, there is just you arrive on the edges of the Corsin system. And you can see that that black night sky of space and the planet in front of you is just lit with the exchange of laser fire. And coming over it, you have this is the New Republic, third group. We are calling on all civilians to evacuate the area. This is it. Note, the Corsin system is in full-scale warfare. Join the evacuation crew or get the hell out of here. We can't protect you. And then there's at the same time coming over it is this is the Imperial forces under the command of the proxy command of Warlord Zinj. All civilians are to leave the area or will be considered hostile targets. You have been warned. Do not be here when Iron Fist arrives. And so you have entered into a war zone. The gist that you can get is that essentially the New Republic was looking to relieve the rebels on the planet here and essentially like use Corsin as the first step in the war in like this area of space. But Iron Fist intercepted the bulk of the fleet, and now the New Republic is in full retreat. And Iron Fist is a super star destroyer that is on its way here after it's taken care of the Third Fleet. And the rebel/New Republic forces at the moment have just announced that they are currently trying to evacuate off course and bug out.
Great.
Tags, you can already see pings popping up on the sensors. You are being tagged by both groups of forces as you come into the system.
Guys, she toggles a switch to turn on the loudspeaker. You heard that, I assume. Everybody heard that. I'm getting pinged from both sides. Hold on. I'm going to try to fly casual or something.
So what's the strategy for getting through the...
disguise ourselves? Could we disguise ourselves as debris? There is probably some amount of wreckage already.
I'm willing to give that a shot if you think that has any chance of, if Tags thinks that has any chance of possibly working. That sounds like a
Well,
thing
I
she'd
mean,
try.
why don't you see if you can spot a piece of a good chunk of wreckage from perhaps, oh, look, that Corvette's just exploded over there. But, I think this is maybe a read a bad situation to see if you
Sure.
can work out the best way in.
You bet. I love to read a bad situation. So I'll be rolling plus sharp, which for me is a +1.
Oh, and well,
Yes.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. No, you tell me what you rolled.
All right, a 9. Oh, I will call for some help. Hey, quick, can you spot for me? I'm calling for aid from Quake.
Sure, I'll help. I'll try to help you with how do I help you reading this situation? I think what I'll do is I just look at some other screens and call out the info to you so you can use that, right?
Yeah, screens are out of porthole,
Yeah.
I was thinking Quake's been in the Clone Wars,
Yeah,
right? Lots
true.
of large scale battles, probably more than anyone here. So like if
Yeah.
anyone's going to spot like, how
Yeah, it's
wreckage is going to
true.
fall out of orbit, it's going to be Quake, right?
Yeah.
That's why I
I've
called
seen
on him.
stuff. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd say that's probably plus sharp.
Okay. See how that goes. Well, it's not going. Sorry.
Oh no, we both fail. Awesome.
Oh,
does it
I'm good
actually make you?
XP.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
There's a 6. Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a risk. There's a hard
Yeah.
risk to this. No, I'll mark the XP.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, Rich, that Corvette explodes. That New Republic Corvette explodes under fire from the one remaining Imperial cruiser. You can see that from the sensors, the New Republic is rebel forces are evacuating sort of away from where the orbital fight is, but you're going to have to cross through the orbital fight to get to like where the ground battle is going on.
Yeah, strap in, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
And there is that wreckage of the Corvette's being pulled into the orbit. Of course, you can move it up there, but you are conspicuous, I've noted. Yeah.
She's the bright beauty is conspicuous. I think hiding's not going to work out. We're just going to have to push it.
Maybe just try to make out that we're a medevac transport, because I mean that would get us in with the Republic at least, and the Imperials might not think we are a threat if we pose as medevac.
Well, I was thinking that maybe it's like, oh, this is the perfect piece of wreckage, and then the camera pans out and you just see that the bright beauty just shines brightly against the dark hull of this thing, like visible from a mile away.
This immaculate pleasure yacht. Imperial yacht.
And
she's not made for these kind of recon missions.
And a flight of X-Wings and TIE fighters that are engaged dogfighting like sweeps by, and 2 of the TIE fighters break off and loop back around, and you hear the red lights as they lock targeting computers on you.
I got a couple ties on me. Sorry, not sorry. Let's take them out.
Okay.
Punch it.
Okay.
Who's in the turret? Hella? Blocks?
Blocks can be in the turret.
Yeah, cool.
With his upgrade, he probably now has much better control over the targeting systems.
Oh, that's true. Maybe you're not even like sitting in the target. You're just remote controlling it.
Possibly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
He's sitting in the lounge with his arm plugged into the system. Yeah.
Yeah, on the Dejaric table, right? Like the chessboard thing.
Nice.
Yeah, TIE fighters coming in and attack on a strafing rim. The lasers are already exploding that Corvette wreckage around you, and that howl's coming closer. You swing the turret around. Are you going to use the proton torpedoes?
How? So is that a single use thing?
No, but it might be a
torpedoes?
consequence it might be a consequence of a miss, right? It might be you.
Let's just use the. Do we have?
It's just
What
got
is our
lasers,
other
basically.
armaments? Is it just a turbo laser?
Just a cannon, yeah, like a
Yeah,
quad
laser,
cannon or
laser
whatever.
cannon. Yeah.
I feel like every bounty
Yeah.
leadership should have some form of weapons, otherwise only one person gets to roll.
Yeah.
Cool. So roll me an act under pressure.
Not the best.
That's an
Hey,
8.
not the
You
worst.
exchange harm. Okay. So choose a system to get damaged and describe to me how you take out the TIE fighter. And you send the other one breaks away from you as his friend goes down.
Yeah. Oh, is there like a list of?
Well, I
What is
mean,
that?
is it going to be your hyperdrive, your sublight engines, your life support?
Oh, on our ship. Sorry.
Yeah. Your comms, your engines, your hyperdrive engines, as in like your overcharged
There we go.
hyperdrive, the upgrade.
Nice.
I feel like we're gonna need that. Yeah. Let's say the let's say the comms get taken out.
Blows off your comm dish.
Yeah. The dish on antenna dish on top.
Nice. Okay. I will cross that out. It's currently damaged. The dish blows off. You shoot the TIE, you track across the TIE fighters as Tag sends the ship rolling away from that fire, and boom, you punch through into the orbit. The other TIE fighter is lagging behind you, coming around for another attack run though. Just as you come through, it's following you down into the Atmo. Tags. Yes, exactly. What do you do, Tags?
I think it's time for some fancy flying. I did tell them to strap in, so I'm gonna send the Bright Beauty into a barrel roll because do a barrel roll. That's how you win, right?
Do a barrel roll.
That's all I was trying to do, is get someone to tell me to do a barrel roll. I guess act under pressure is what I'm doing.
Yeah. But you get +1 to it because you are a craft pilot.
I am, so I'm rolling +2 here on fancy flying. Oof. Wow, thank God for the +1. I got a 7. Yeah.
Nice. So Rich, I'm going to give you a choice, right? And the choice is you're either going to take out this tie and land you're either going to land somewhere safe and in thingy, but you're going to lose the ship's going to be like temporarily grounded after this if you land in the in a safe landing zone, or you're going to take it down into the jungle, and you're going to have to try and you might have to deal with some of the ground forces as well after that.
Everybody okay if we go into the jungle? I don't want Hella to be stuck back trying to repair it
before.
Yeah, we're good. Guys, we'll probably have to go down in unfriendly territory, but we'll be able to get back out. So that's the good news.
What's the bad news?
Unfriendly territory, probably going to get shot at. A little bit of combat.
Oh no, I think the what's the bad news has got to be what's the bad news? Smashes through like a canopy of trees.
Yes. That's the best. That's the best bad news. That right there.
Cool. So you punch through, the TIE fighter tries to come through, and it just gets snagged up in one of the trees and boom, explodes, because that's what TIE fighters are meant to do, right? It's to explode at the drop of a hat.
And then both the wing thingies or whatever come flying off because that looks so crazy.
And you're flying down through this valley, and then you come across to Let me see if I can. Yeah, if you look on the character keep on the bounties of war tab, you see you punch through onto like a clearing, and you can see that there is a pitched ground battle going on beneath you. There is. You see some of those troopers, these are raptor troopers on the ground, supported by an ATST that are engaging rebel forces in a pitched battle. And then an explosion rocks the ship as one of those raptor troopers ready. You can see that he's got a rocket launcher tube that's locked onto you guys. What's the plan?
Can we maybe take out the ATST before we crash, land, or whatever our plan is?
Well, through the crackles of the broken comms, you can hear being overrun. This is a low flows. Anyone?
Low fools. I know those guys. We got to help this out.
Sure, let's take out the ATST at least, because that is bad news.
Yeah,
well, I'm imagining, that's when the stirring Star Wars music plays, right? And the beauty does like one of those big loops around, coming back down towards the ATST.
Yeah.
Just like all of the ground rocket troops suddenly shift their fire up. So you're coming in. I think this is going to be, you know what? Because it goes for the whole group, I'm going to say this is a make a plan with tough straight on.
Nice.
I'm going to say Tags suggested it though, because
that seems fair. I did 100% suggest it.
You know these guys.
I do.
And it is supported by plenty of resources and people. There are rebels on the ground fighting alongside as well. You are basing it on accurate current information, so that's +2. There is, however, significant opposition that would interfere with the plan. An ATST and a bunch of elite Imperial forces with heavy weaponry. So there is no minus, so it is a -1 overall on that, plus you're tough.
How's there a -1 overall? Sorry,
No, a +1 overall, I meant. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, well, my tough is 0. So here we go. 2d6 + 1. Oh, that's a 9, and can't call for help because it's already assumed we're working together. So yeah, that is a mixed result. How's it go?
Some of your plan encounters unexpected difficulties, and I think that you're going to take some damage as you come in.
Yeah, seems fair.
But you do take out that ATST. You want to describe how you do it? As you can see the rebel lines like falling back in front of this ATST, and it goes and then it turns its turrets facing towards the beauty as you come down.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where I come above the treetops and it's firing over top of the treetops. But I think what Tags does is has the bright beauty kind of turn this way and do a little bit of like mid-air and lines it up for blocks to lay in a little attack routine, and that takes out the ATST, kind of hits it in the head and explodes, and then it crumples down and the legs wobble and the little chicken walker goes down, explodes.
Nice. But of course, as it goes down, like that, it's just got that turret on top, a missile bank that's, it's like a heavy weapons platform, this ATST, compared to just the cannons. And it fires that chunk into the air, like a missile, and then you explode it. And that missile goes right on the side of the blaze of the bright beauty, taking out like one of those, maybe one of those 2 engines, the left-hand side one, suddenly starts to smoke and gutter. You're gonna have to bring it in hard for a landing.
Hey, time for a landing, guys. Brace. Port engines out.
So you're gonna bring it down? Yeah.
Not much of a choice there. Like, I think I have to.
Yeah.
It's more of a horizontal landing than a vertical landing.
Any landing you can walk away from, guys. Just remember that. That's what they say.
So Anders, as the beauty comes sliding in, I think Hella might be the one who's closest to the hatch. And you can, the beauty comes down like plowing like a furrow through the dirt, like, and it creates like the perfect ridge for the rebels to fall back to. So the loaf wolves are now like running through the trench that you've dug up, like under fire from the remaining raptors, and they are taking cover by the beauty. As the raptors now like come up out of their cover and they're approaching. And just for transparency, the raptors are going to be like a mob, basically, essentially, for you guys to deal with as you come out. But you're the first near the hatch. What do you do, Hella?
Hela has dug through her armory to find the absolutely biggest, heaviest, meanest gun she has. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but let's roll and we'll see what she's found. So let's see.
We will make something up on the fly if you reference anything, you describe what it is, and we'll see what those tags are going to be if you get the right result,
Yeah. That's with tech, so it's a +1. And it's a 3. Snake Eyes. She does not have a big gun.
Or at least you don't have a working one, which is a shame as you so well, I was imagining that like you had like an E-web or like one of those big turrets that they stormtroopers deploy or something.
I think she.
Oh wait,
hold
on. I think you didn't actually roll. You just did 2 + 1.
Oh,
never mind. 1, 2.
Oh, there are two
no.
dice.
It did the
You actually rolled
I
twice.
see. Yeah. You did the D6 first. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, I think she's found like a flamethrower or something, but and she drags it out, and then she realizes that no, this coupling doesn't fit with the tank, and oh crud, and she just pulls her blaster and runs out to help the rebels.
On a miss, you've got the wrong thing. Yeah, so you run out with a flamethrower and you let out that big roar of flame, I guess, and it just sort of create a brief moment of thing. And then as the fire clears, you can just see that the raptors are all out of range of the fire and just laying down heavy, suppressing things through. And the loaf walls are like, whoa.
Don't burn my friends.
Is it being cruel if I inflict harm on you as like you the fire punches through as a miss?
Depends on whether it goes through my armor or not.
No, that's true. I won't do it. Yeah, but you get, the blaster fire drives you back into cover or just away from behind one of the landing struts that are like wrench trying to prop itself up in the dirt. Okay, so
I knew it wasn't worth repairing this cruddy thing, and she just dumps it and pulls her blaster.
Blocks, what do you do?
I think that Blocks actually, I'm still a little hesitant from last encounter of just running into the thick of things. So I think that Hella, that you actually like had did you say it was a flamethrower that wasn't working? I think Blocks is going to try and repair the flamethrower and get it working, because that seems like a more effective tool.
Nice.
Sure.
So use tech, I guess.
Boop.
Then nice, it works. You improve the flamethrower. It's like double efficiency. Like the range on that thing is now just like maybe like one of the tubes was blocked. It wasn't quite feeling.
Yeah. That had some gel, some gel that had solidified, and Blocks was able to
Quake, I'm imagining, and Tags, I'm imagining that are you guys trying to fix the ship, or are you coming down to the?
I mean, if there's a battle, I've got armor, I've got a big gun.
Yes.
Why should I stay on a ship? Doesn't make sense.
Cool. And Tags?
Quake's going out there. I've got his back. There's no
Nice.
doubt.
Did we
We'll
think
worry
that
about the ship later.
the beauty's just got the one hatch or multiple?
I think just one hatch, like it's a yacht, right? So it's not
Mm.
really built to be super practical.
It might have multiple. It might have a service hatch, as in
yeah,
there's
see
the
that.
entrance hatch for, like, you know, whoever's yacht it is, our yacht. But then there's the yacht. There's the entrance for the staff.
The servant's entrance inside the. You got to go around to the back of the yacht to get into it. I like that. Yeah.
Very appropriate for
That's
Empire.
So
higher-ups.
imperial. Yeah.
Okay, well then you guys are going to be like a slight, like not a great position because it's still the thing that they're taking cover behind, but at least it's a different firing point to distract the Raptors as that hatch clanks down. And I'm imagining, and then we see the gauntleted knuckles of Quake pull himself out of the ship's hatch. Right. You can see Blocks and Hella are fiddling with something as they take heavy fire from the Raptors, and one of those guys. Like the Raptors seem to be distracted shooting at them. What do you do, Quake?
I mean, I don't understand why they didn't wait for me, but okay. I'll just get out, take aim, shoot.
Okay.
As you do, and try to dodge a little, at least the return fire.
Well, we'll see how the kick some ass goes.
Yeah. So it's tough, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's a 10. Goes well.
Nice. What's the extra effect you choose?
Let's see. Kick some ass. There I go. Inflict terrible harm. I think I will force them to take a little cover here to just stop their forward surge and get a bit of relief to these lost wolves that Tag seems to like.
Okay, so you're going to drive them off essentially, right? Like
yeah.
Okay.
I will take harm, but well.
Yeah. I am mechanically going to do that as you drive off like half of them. Just
that's fine. Yeah, but that's kind of dope, right?
Yeah. It's a huge. It's with your assault rifle, right? Your blaster rifle, right?
Yes, that's the blaster rifle. Yeah, that's why I have a big gun for exactly these kinds of situations.
So whatever like ridge of mud that Hella and Blocks are like kneels behind as they bang on this flamethrower, right? And then it clears, and then you see the pilot light finally gutter forwards, and then like it's just getting whittled away, and then suddenly there's a flurry of blaster bolts from the top of the ship, and the Raptors just go tumbling down the hill back on the other side, effectively taking out the other half as Quake comes out, and you see the Loath Wolves may use that opportunity to make a break. Coming up closer to the ship. Some of them, like the ones with the heavy. Well, actually, are you going to try and push them off, do you think? Or what do you call out, Tags, as you see?
Before you go to Tags, how much harm do I take?
Oh, God, yes. Well, you take 3 harm, but then your armor will block 2 of it. And I think that's, the remaining group only stops your fire from cutting them down by one of them firing their rocket tube. And it explodes, the wash of explosion like knocks you back into cover. And then, Tags is also illuminated by this fire. What do you want to do here? What's the plan, do you think, Tags?
I think what we see with Tags is she's really trying to reach out to the Loath Wolves, give them a place to hide. So she's standing there with her riot gun, and she fires a couple shots and says, "Come on, Lek, Ty, yo too, over here.
Tags, is that you?
Of course it is.
What the Sith are you doing here?
We're hunting down that raider guy for, credits, but we figured we could take a side thing, Savior can."
Cool. Do you want to kick some ass as a raptor lines up a shot at you?
Well, I think I'm actually trying to protect these guys.
Oh, protect them. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a much better move. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm rolling plus tough, which I'm not great at. So.
And this is you laying down covering fire as they make that dash between the last stretch of Zinja's troops and the beauty's ramp.
Oh, I got an 8. I got a mixed result. I'm very excited. So a 7+, I protect them okay, but I'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. And I did buy armor, so thank God.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is 3 harm coming at you.
Whew. Yay!
But you know, you take the blast comes up and you stagger up, fire off the riot gun, forcing them back in just as Ty Breely leaps over and knocks you down out of the way of the sniper shot that was about to take your head off. And now you
Nice.
and the loaf walls are crouched down behind the fire. And of course we cut back to Hela as the flamethrower.
Well, if it's working, then I'm going to use it.
Kick some ass. And you know what? I'm going to give you advantage on this kick some ass.
Ooh, awesome. And kick some ass is tough, so I have a +1 and advantage for 3 dice. And removing the 1, which leaves me with 6. Because the dice hate me today, apparently.
Calling for aid?
Yes,
I am right there.
please.
Would you like some assistance?
Yeah, the tank, it's not working.
Oh, here's the problem. And Blocks holds up the tube connected to the tank, or not connected to the tank. I forgot to reconnect it.
Joints aren't supposed to forget things.
I think that's a tech.
And this was something that was in my down in my purpose that I have completely forgotten about. Since I was an assistant, I get a +2 bonus when someone calls for my aid.
Oh, nice.
So I'll just roll 2d6 +2 for tech, +2 for assistant.
+4. You can't lose. Although you very nearly did. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't do the second +2.
No, I think it only does one of the pluses actually. So you need to combine them all together.
So it's actually a 10 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10.
It is
so
a 10.
Actually even better. Yeah. So on a 10, on a call for aid,
on a 10, wait.
Oh, you increase your result. That's it, isn't it? It's just that there's no negative consequences in a 10+. Yeah.
Right.
So you are both gonna exchange harm with the things. You are gonna take them out, but it is gonna be another 2 harm coming back at you guys. Well, 3 harm actually coming back at you guys.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, because there's no choice, right? And it's 7+.
We had to stand up in order to use the flamethrower.
Yeah, and there's probably a bit of blowback, like the coupling was loose and that sort of thing.
Oh, I tell you what, I lower it down to 2 harm, and you do it as a blaster bolt ricochets off the side of the flamethrower tank and blows it up.
Great.
So you take 2 harm from the explosion, but you've driven off Zinji's troops. It's just that your ramshackle flamethrower was not particularly a safe tool either, you know?
Yeah,
it had been leaking fuel.
Oh, in fact, the guy who shoots it is a raptor who comes running, charging through the fire at you, like flames through his armor, and he comes up and then he fires straight down the barrel of the flamethrower, right, with a blaster pistol.
Perfect.
And then it's just boom, and then just like quiet, you know, like suddenly all this pitched battle has just gone to silence. And as everyone's hearing comes back and the loath walls like,
that's it. I'm never buying anything off of that carking Java again.
And is that a good point to have our break?
Yeah.
In fact, so just before we cut to, you know, like a different scene of you talking to the Loth Wolves, making your plans and everything, you know, the camera pans up at the top of this battlefield and you see this troop transport looking ship with teeth along the front and a red thing. It's Raider's ship, the Camino's teeth, swoops overhead, burning north low along the trees. And you know, the camera pans after it as it heads off towards where the New Republic evacuation is going on. Back on the ground, you know, you guys can have seen that ship and have the usual Star Wars preternatural ability to see small dots off in the horizon and recognize what they are entirely. And the Loth Wolves, in fact, let me remind myself the Loth Wolves' names. The Loth Wolves, Lekher and Tybrele and Yo2. And Yo2 goes, oh, we got to get after them. It's going to go after the asset, after the agent.
Wait, who's that?
Wait, what asset?
We were hoping to pick him up here and hold him off. We've been sent to bring back an NRI agent named Whisper. And Raider's been sent to make sure her secrets don't get off planet. But we're pinned down now and your ship looks like it's in a right state.
We did have a time getting down planet side.
She's got it. She's got it where it counts. It just looks bad. It's fine.
What are you doing in that anyways, Tax?
Oh, we're gonna take out Raider.
Oh. You came to claim the bounty then?
Yeah.
And then Tybrele says, oh, good job they came here to pick up that bounty and not Whispers, and kicks him like visibly. Hinting that perhaps there's a bounty on their agent as well from the Imperial side.
We don't take imp bounties. Come on. You know me better than that.
Is that something that we had seen on the bounty board? But
it's something that if you were to go look, you would or check. It would be very easy to check it with any sort of system or whatever, right? But that's what's been let slip. Who knows how much it's worth? But actually, you know what? You can see it. It'll be 4 bounty if you brought in the rebel agent to Zinj.
4 creds.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we can pay 2. We can pay 2. We can outbid, well, not outbid the Empire. That'd be ludicrous, obviously. Good causes don't pay well. But, you know, I think, well, got an uncle in NRI who might be willing to pay for a bit of battlefield assistance.
When he says uncle, blocks his head, he sort of tilts up towards him. An uncle, you say?
Yeah, weird code name, innit? But yeah, got 2 bounty that we can hand out to anybody who does us a good turn here on the battlefield. And well, we're not looking good. And you know, the rest of the Loth Wolves, the extras, are all you know, like bandaging their wounds, like, you know, leaning back, looking exhausted from the fighting.
If Raider is after this guy, then I mean, grabbing them is a good way to make him come to us instead of having to go looking for him.
Well,
that's a good plan.
The agent's heading towards Evac Point Hoff. I'll be where Raider's going too. Can I cut them off before they get there? And currently your ship is disabled. I'll just put it on the table that the Loth Wolves will, you know, use it as a sort of place to catch their breath, gather their injured. And I think Yo2, if you were to read the very tiny writing there, and Tybrele are both very capable engineers who would be able to get the ship up and running for you. Just so that, you know, the ship doesn't become one of those plot things where you're like, oh, now we have to go back and get the car kind of thing. But it's anything's up to you. So that's the offer on the table from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Quake, what do you make of this?
Just let me be clear. The offer is that they repair our ship and we get this guide, this Whisper guide for them, so we can.
If you rescue Whisper from Raider, you'll get 2 credits from the New Republic. If you deliver Whisper to the Imperials, you'll get 4 credits from the Imperials.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No, I know. Just to put it out there entirely.
But if we have Whisper, we can use them as bait to draw
Yes.
Raiders to us. So
Yeah,
that is, I think that is the plan.
Mhm.
So but how do we move across the planet? I know that somebody has a speeder bike, but it's only one, and I think speeder bikes don't see 4. But maybe
Tags
the Lost Wolves
Tags has
still
2 vehicles.
Oh,
and
okay.
hasn't defined the second vehicle, so can have
okay.
2 speeders,
Cool.
one of which can have a sidecar even. And I'm fine with
Oh
that.
yeah, one of the
Okay.
bark speeders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. There we go.
But you know, when I say the locals will do that with the ship, what I'm saying is that I'm not tying that rock around your neck that the ship is out in the battlefield and you'll have to go back and retrieve it, you know, because like no one wants to deal with that level of bookkeeping in any adventure, right? Like, but sometimes you have to get out of the ship. So
I love getting out of the ship.
Yeah.
And I'm a crack pilot. Let's say that it's a speeder. That way we can all travel together rather than. So I've got a speeder bike, which I'd already defined and kind of upgraded. And now I've got a regular ass like land speeder. Maybe it's an attachment that came with the Bright Beauty or something along those lines. So sleek and silver. It stands out like a sore thumb in the swamp.
Limo speeder. Yeah.
Yeah.
That tag has to be too fancy, right?
Too fancy.
Has a very good audio system though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really pump the
seat
rodeo
warmers.
one.
Oh, it's so good. I love this speeder.
Now, I think I don't want to fault, but I think it's really cool to have like one of you on the speeder bike and the rest of you in the thing, just because I like having not everybody in one basket when they move, and it makes some cooler cinematics if you were to get into a thing.
Okay.
But you're welcome to all go in the speeder if you imagine it as Tags pulls on a leather gloves and the chauffeur styles driving Miss Daisy and the droids around. But it's up to you, you know.
I'm happy to cart people around and maybe one person takes her speeder. That way, if when this limo speeder is destroyed, it's Tags' fault, because I mean we all know it's going to be.
So Hella's taking the speeder bike.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I'm imagining, you know, handing over like the keys that we never see anyone use in Star Wars, and then a lingering touch from Tags and Hella as it's handed over, right?
Treat her good.
Is there a key fob that has some memento dangling from it?
Oh God. It's gotta have some like cheesy Star Wars quote on it. What is
do or do not?
Do or do not. There we go. That's good.
Okay. So we're at the point of coming up with the plan. We've got your speeder bikes. You want to try and intercept Whisper before.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think that is make a plan that you suggested, Sabine.
Well, I would like to talk to the others before we start out with the whole thing, because I need to tell them what to expect from this raider, because they know me. And I will say this, hey, everyone, you know me, yeah? You think I'm a good soldier? You think I'm good at what I do? Because
Absolutely.
among the clones, I'm low average at best. This raider guy is a lot better. So expect him to be really tough. And we need to figure out what to do about his armor, because usual blaster fire probably won't do a thing with him. We need to have more. I mean, your ion gun will not kill him, so that is probably our best option. But still, everything I can do, he probably can do better. Just so you know. except for painting. Probably can't paint.
Noted. Quake, do you know of any weak points in the armor that you could point out to us?
Yeah, no, the joints are obviously, but this armor wasn't designed with weak points. You might try to overload his helmet, but I don't know the specifics, and usually the helmet will shut off if you make too much noise in it. This armor is actually pretty good. It's not made with weak points. Neither are we. So,
as we have seen in practice.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, go for maybe that's your bet. But as I said, the ion can, the stun can, that will work actually. That will work pretty well. I hate when that happens.
Okay, now, so anyone have any disagreements on what the plan should be? Or a suggestion of an alternative plan? Or no? So it sounds like we're going...
The good guys don't always pay well, but sometimes the plans do align.
Nice. So is this careful, stay safe, stealthy, and smart? Because I think this is a fairly smart move to try and... Or maybe it's a plan about pushing through even. Pushing through the battlefield, making good time to get to Whisper ahead of Raider. Yeah, this is like you're going to breakneck through through a raging like battlefield basically to get to Whisper.
Yeah, still smart, but yeah. So is the plan supported by plan resources and have a we have visitor, right?
Yeah. Just to let you know, you're roboting pretty bad, Sabine. So if we ever look slightly confused, it's yeah.
I'm sorry, my internet today is a bit
no.
shitty.
It's still understandable. It's just a few moments of like, was that the full word or half of a word? You know. Anyways,
got the same with you, so
fair.
Yeah.
So you are supported by plenty of resources and people. I don't think you're basing the plan on accurate current information. In that moment there, before we went into this thing, no one said, I really want to look up something or whatever. So that's a +1. There is significant opposition that would interfere with the plan, so that's a 0, but there is not significant dissent about what plan to follow. So that's a flat roll with +cool.
Nice to me. Well, it's rolling. It's still rolling. There it is. It's an 11. It took its time, but it was a pretty good roll.
Nice. So, Rich, describe some of the successful route that you take through this sort of like urban environment that's like destroyed by battle, and is like overgrown, you know, with like a kind of symbiosis of jungle environments and urban environments and like long roads and broken things and burned out vehicles. And, you know, there's TIE fighters screeching overhead. Maybe you guys come under a bombardment, like as you're moving through an area, but how do you and Quake like get around it?
Oh, I think one of the moments we see is that there's this bridge over a raging river, and we see the husk remain of some kind of tank that they blew up the bridge and the tank fell into the river, and now it's just like this metallic hunk that the river is rushing around, and Tags just zips the speeder across, and it starts to tilt down and kind of crashes into the lip of the other side of the bridge. Kind of hop for a moment, and Hella is able to zip along on the speeder bike because, you know, it's less of a problem, this thing with land speeders. And I think there's another moment where there is an AT-ST that's moving across, and she just kind of pops up and does a like on its side and rakes around the thing, just not even engaging it in battle. Like we've got
So-
more important things to do.
This luxury limo and this like speeder bike zipping around it in between the legs of an AT walker is like explosions rock around it.
Yes. Yes, I like that moment. Thank you.
So Hella, I'm wondering, have you ever been in a war zone before in a big battle? Tags has. Quake was born for this. Has Hella?
Not like this. I think she's been in like bigger firefights, but like gang firefights, like with
People rather than like artillery and weaponry.
Yeah. She's not used to this, like things coming out of nowhere and exploding, that sort of thing.
Nice. White knuckles on the speeder, right? But blowing through it all entirely. And blocks, it's breakneck speed for all of this, right? But we cut to your like internal cam, like the view, like with all the droid view kind of thing, and then there's like a building that's like broken over on the side, and then there's like a picture in picture as an old memory of your data banks triggered, and you remember that Professor Dim noted that Corsin was a Ratatakan colony world. What is it that what else do you remember about Corsin?
Yeah, subjugated by the Infinite Empire, as they were wont to do. I think that let's say that the Infinite Empire performed force alchemy experiments on the native population.
Force alchemy experiments. Yeah, we're creating force empowered shock troopers out of the slave races of the Infinite Empire. Professor Dim was searching for it here. As that bit of your memories restored.
Yeah, had been looking for their facilities where they performed this experimentation.
Nice. And you guys burst through the thing. You come into like I'm on the outskirts of the city. You're sort of in the midway between the city proper and Evac Point Hoth. You can see the big New Republic medical frigate like lifting off from the planet, taking away the bulk of the air support with it as like an escort, and people and ships streaming in from other areas in the battlefield further away from you. But you're wondering, I think the speed is slowed down as they come through this sort of more largely intact streets and things, and you got this fob off the Loaf Wolves, and it points you towards one of the buildings, and you see a pair of binoculars in one of the windows, and it knocks down and a wave of the rebel insignia on a flag, and you have found Whisper and her escort, who's just a couple of rebel troops with her basically. They don't look in too good shape, and she goes, "Oh, hey, are you the relief force?"
We are now.
Huh. You don't look. Aren't you a little short for a rebel?
Judge me by my size, do you?
But yeah, we should. Where's the Loaf Wolves? Where's Ty? I was sent. Uncle told me to expect others.
Oh, yeah. Ty, and you two, they're all back at our ship. They took on heavy fire. We came in their stead. Don't worry. We know about Raider. We're actually here technically for Raider, but we'll help you out.
Well, you got to get me to the evac point. There's no time to lose. Zinj, if we don't get this information out there, we'll never be able to take down Zinj.
Okay. And I'm looking to Quake. Like, do I basically delay this so that Raider shows up, or?
Well, I think Raider will show up nonetheless. I have utmost faith in his ability to be a pain in the ass. So yeah, let's try to get Whisper out of there, because and then I feel that Raider will come on us eventually. I mean, I will, for full disclosure to Whisper, we're bounty hunters after Raider. So we got drawn into this thing by the Lost Wolves, who are all friends of Tax here. So.
Oh, well, I guess it can't turn down help, right? Even if it's just by coincidence. Hey, could be worse. Could be Black Sun, not bounty hunters.
Glance over at Hella.
That would be worse.
So you're gonna drive your speeders with her, right?
Yeah, I think she's riding behind Hella.
Yeah. And I think those two rebel troops are extras. So, they're gonna go like, oh, Agent Whisper, we'll try and lead them off and regroup with the Loaf Wolves. Like, may the force be with you. Handshake, exits plotline off to the side.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the plan here? Is to get out, to get to that point Hoff with Whisper, the idea that Raider's going to intercept you at some point, and that's going to be a chance to grab him, right?
Yeah, either that or we get Whisper off and then take on Raider. Sorry.
Do we have any ion weapons?
Yes, I think you have an ion weapon.
I've got a riot gun.
I think
I know that Quake, you mentioned that ions.
Yeah, you got ion cannon, you got ion guns.
I know that Tax has an ion gun, or Hella does. One of these, one of them, or both of them. No, it's
Both.
Tax. She has a riot gun. Both.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Cool.
You got ion out of the wazoo. So I suppose all I'm asking is there any further detail that you want to add to this beyond just driving away to the evac point? Why don't we start with Hella? Anything that you want to add to this plan, or change, or do?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Feels good.
Yeah. Tax.
I mean, if we get Whisper out and Raider doesn't show up, that doesn't mean we can't still look for Raider.
Okay, Tax.
Nothing extra. Just push on through. She's ready to go. Follow Quake and Hella's advice. Of course, if Blocks throws some out, but he's pretty quiet.
Okay, and Blocks.
Well, our mission is of course, our primary mission is of course Raider. Might there be a way to grab Raider's attention, cause a little bit of a stir to make sure that we are followed?
I have an idea about that actually.
Okay. I mean, I have been wondering whether or not anyone wanted to go into a more active ambush situation. So is that the case?
I think what I want to do is I have a helmet, right? And I haven't used the comms and the helmet for ages because no other clown, but these helmets are meant to talk to each other. So just turning on these internal comms to see if there's something that happens, if he notices that, if he comes for that. I don't know.
I like that.
Is that what you had in mind, Blocks?
That works beautifully.
You're going to draw him to you.
Yeah.
And still the plan is to essentially make your way through to that point at Hoff at the quickest route possible, right? Yeah.
While that's going, I think that Blocks is going to turn to Hella and Tags and say, since you have the ion weaponry, I was wondering if it might be possible for me to do a slight modification to one of your weapons so as to give it a bit more range with the possibility of taking out Raider more effectively.
Ooh. That sounds great. Saying awesome. Tags will reach into her pack that's sitting right beside her at the speeder and toss the riot gun your way. Not really. She doesn't take care of her equipment like she should. Let's be honest.
It's one of those like that we see the Jawas carry in A New Hope, like the big barrel.
The blunderbuss
Yeah,
type ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So is that a use tech, I guess?
Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to use tech to try and enhance this ion rifle.
Really need to
Give it a bit more effectiveness.
Yeah, we really need to actually rewrite the use tech move, because I think
I agree.
add or change a tag is a great use of a use tech roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really smart.
Yeah, what are the tags on that rifle right now?
Riot gun, stun.
Stun, close, loud.
Yep.
Then let's take away, or like, I want to extend the range basically, so it doesn't have to be close range.
Yeah, it can be far.
Oh, wow.
Rolled a 9.
What's the glitch?
It works imperfectly. The effect I want to be far range glitch. Let's say the effect is of short duration.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
It's a weaker stun at range.
For short duration, I think what it's going to be is it's a one-shot like amplification. It's like
Okay.
those disposable silencers that they put on guns. This is like a disposable,
Yeah. Mhm.
like metal tubing that's just going to funnel it, but then blow apart under the shock of the first shot.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, if you come
One-time
under fire
range
from
use.
a long range, now you can use that gun no matter what.
That's really cool.
Let's do Sabine's docking. Yeah.
Just one question, because the normal blasters don't have a stun setting, I noticed, but is that correct? I don't know.
I did put it in the rules about every blaster usually has a short range stun setting. I haven't decided on where to go with that one overall. I kind of wonder if it's maybe like spend a cred to get your blaster upgraded to have a stun, right? Because it's very inconsistent in Star Wars, the actual thing. No one uses stun apart from like to shoot plot characters. So they just murder a lot of people. But anyways, that's the thing that I might think about between now and next week. But for now, you can all have a stun setting on your thing. It'll just be like very close range, not like sort of like Leia running down a corridor on a small spaceship, for example, that kind of range.
Yeah, it feels almost like it's almost like close, like hand-to-hand range.
Yeah.
It's shorter than close range, I guess.
Yeah, hand range perhaps even, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be like in a melee combat for it to work. But
Yeah,
anyways. I think that your communication with Raider would be very interesting to see before the make a plan roll, because I feel like it's part of the plan, right? So you turn on your helmet and your comms as you're driving, and Whisper's talking to the others excitedly. She says, oh, I found all this stuff that Zinj, we've been wondering how is he paying for all of this? How is he like, is it the piracy? Is it the thing? But he's got these shell corporations that are running all the way through the corporate sector, through the New Republic even, and like all the money, it's going through like, well, I mean, Black Sun, maybe the cartels, who knows who it's going through, but it's just this whole like criminal empire conspiracy. Back on Chardania, I never would have thought I would have gotten anything like this. I've never even seen a tree before. And she's excitedly talking away while you click on your comms. And you know, there's the beacon go. You got like a little squad beacon, perhaps, you know, like on the heads-up display, saying that you're there in your call sign. And not long afterwards, you hear, brother. It's been a long
Hello
time.
there. Well, yes. You working for the Empire now? Against the Republic? Wow.
You're not one for following orders, then.
I'm not. No. I'm a medic. You
I go
know.
where the fighting is, brother. It's what we were made for.
Well, I'm here, right?
Yes. Still fighting and dying for them who won't even pay you.
Oh, they pay me. I'm long past not being paid for my blood.
Well, we'll find out if they pay you enough. I could pay you.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think so. Don't think you could pay me enough.
8 credits for you to do my dirty work.
Yeah, no. I don't do no. But maybe you come and find me and we can talk about this a little more.
I think he'll just laugh at that. If you want to say something that might goad him a bit more into it, because he's not.
Yeah, I will say, because I think I got what you're looking for.
Okay. Roll me and manipulate someone.
And I'm rolling that with tough because of my funny little move. I love that move. Because I'm not trying to do this with charm, right?
No,
I'm
you're
goading
basically
him.
saying, come at me, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing here. See how that goes, though.
And you maybe even says that as in, like, I killed a Jedi. What makes you think I can't kill another one of you?
I killed a Jedi too. It's not something to be proud of. And then I shut down the
13.
comms.
Nice.
Yes, that is a 13.
Okay.
So lots of 13s. He's 13, 13. I'm 57, 13.
Nice. So Raider is goaded into action, which means that, you know, some of his moves will be taken off the table, as he's not going to be carefully constructing a thing. He's going to come at you hard and in the open. Let's see that make a plan. Who would we say proposed the plan here? I can't remember. Who would like to roll? Blocks? Chet, it's your last roll. It's your last.
I think that Blocks probably suggested the y'all go and we'll try and get him to come at us.
Oh, so this is sending. Well, no, you're still traveling. Are you traveling with Whisper, or are you?
Yeah. But
yeah.
The plan is to try and goad or try and make sure that Raider is on our tail.
Yes. Yeah, directly on your tail. Okay. So it is make a plan. It is a plan about talking, persuade, manipulate. I don't think it is, because you've not really like lured him into an ambush. You know, you haven't like prepped an area to attack him, so you're not like luring him into a trap. You're just literally saying like, "Come at me now," which is, I think, so it's more about maybe being violent, dangerous, destructive action as you go headlong. He's going to come headlong at you. You're going to go. That's essentially why I feel this has been done, unless anyone disagrees with that reading of it.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Our only real like focused preparation is the long distance ion to hopefully knock out his helmet systems.
Yeah. Well, let's roll that plus tough then. I think it is supported by
Plus
plenty of
tough.
resources and people, so that's another +1. I don't think you're basing it on accurate current information again. There is significant opposition, 0. There's not, so it's just a 0.
All right. Yep. And plus tough is 2. 2d6 plus 2. Here we go. Hey.
That's a 12. You arrive in the middle of your plan in decent shape. So the Camino's teeth, as you guys come through into like a long, well, like another big open valley, right? Or you frame it. Where are you coming into on this planet as you go through? You describe that to me, Blocks. When Raiders ship Camino's teeth, like comes overhead and then ducks down trying to like get behind you.
Yeah, so I think it's short of the extraction point. We're not quite there yet. That is the evac point Hoth.
Maybe this is like a massive bridge spanning a huge canyon. Does that sound cool and Star Warsy to people as you go out of like across this huge forested valley below lots of trees that like are almost nowhere near Kashyyyk size, but rising up from below, like up to the roof of this huge skyscraper-sized valley that you're driving over, this battle-torn bridge, and then the Camino's teeth comes in, and off on the other side of the bridge on the horizon is Evac Point Hoth and safety.
Right. Yeah. We're nearly there. We need to make it, but we don't have the support quite of any New Republic ships that are stationed there and are still remaining there for the evacuation.
Yeah, and he's coming in low as well. Like,
Yeah,
this is like the benefit of his ship is it is fast and it's small and it's just nimble. And it's perfect for doing strafing runs on people whose ships. And over the radio you hear, "I've got you in my sights. Last time, last chance, brother."
Let's see what you got then.
Cannons. And who's driving your speeder, Quake?
Tags. I'm on
Your
the arc,
tags?
I think. Yeah.
You're in the back. Tags.
If Tags is cool with that.
Of course. I've always got your back, Quake.
So you're going to act under pressure to evade the incoming laser fire?
I think that's smart. Yeah, I want to act under pressure because I'm better at that than a lot of other stuff. And this is
Piloting, so you get
it's driving. So yeah. All right. So +2 on. Dang, man. 7. Barely.
7.
do you want a chance to boost it?
Yeah. Come on, Blocks, help me out.
Blocks is going to see some incoming blaster fire, and he's a sturdy droid, so he reaches over the edge of the speeder and drags his arm into the ground to sort of like do a hard braking turn.
Nice.
Yeah, just like a chunk. So let's roll that. I'm going to say that's plus tough, to be honest.
Plus tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I am an assistant.
You are. Nice.
How about that?
13 pushes it up to a full 10 plus. So Rich, to clarify, because I framed it as a blaster fire coming at you, but is evade purely all you want to do? I think I can trust you not to get too ambitious, having already known that you're rolling a 10,
Yeah, so I've got a 10. I think what I'd like to do is evade, but maybe do it in a way, since Blocks is helping, to set Quake up to be able to return fire, maybe give Quake a better position or +1.
Yeah.
So like a broadside, getting set up for a broadside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
maybe
that.
this bridge is like crisscrossed with like different ramps and like different levels of it all and everything, right? So like as the ship's flying over and through these things, you can be driving up and around these strips.
Oh, that's crazy. There's lots of points where it doesn't connect anymore. So Texas constantly having to pop and jump. And yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
When he misses, I will tell him, hey, you know what? You shoot like a stormtrooper.
and you just hear the, and that's when the Camino's teeth like slews and like goes onto its side, and like comes and tags around. That's when Tags ramps up on the side and then spins the side of the limo around, and then we've got the slow motion of Quake. What do you do?
I try to shoot it. Let's see if I
Okay.
shoot better than a stormtrooper. That's with tough, right? And I get +1 because of the shenanigans there.
Mm-hmm. And this is a blaster rifle, correct?
This is a blaster rifle. It's a 9, so yeah, I hit it.
It's a 9. You hit it, you exchange damage. You knock out, you can knock out either one of its 2 guns, or you can, well, actually, no, you knock off one of its 2 guns with that damage. It is a spaceship though, so blaster fire has minimal direct damage on it.
I know.
Yeah, you do, like it cuts to Raider's like face, and it's very much like your face is, but younger and meaner, and with a cruel slant to it. And like he goes, "Got you now," and then it's like this screen like blackens under the blaster fire, and one of his turrets goes boom, smoking off.
See, that's how it's done.
Nice.
And if I take damage, how much?
Oh, and I think the damage is that like he yanks back on the stick, right, and the engine wash like buffeting the limo, and I think it's going to throw you like bouncing, like so you bounce out of the edge of the limo and you bounce off some, but you're still in the car, but you're going to take damage from that rather than like a ship cannon hitting you, for example, right? So that would be 3 damage, but your armor takes up most of that. Hella, you're on the speeder bike. Raider's moving around, whispers, going like, "Kark, you see that?"
I see it.
He's coming back around.
Yeah. What do you want me to do about it?
I don't know. What are you going to do about it?
You're the friggin' rebel spy, whatever. I'm just driving.
And then she just screams as Raider's ship like spirals around, and you see this turret on the back with a missile launcher. And now there's a homing missile heading towards the speeder bike.
Yeah.
And of course, we cut to the inside of the ship, and as Raider swears at the cockpit, right, he's holding a tracking fob that's pointing towards Whisper as well. Just because I wanted to get the fobs in from Mandalorian somehow without it being too plot devicey. So yeah, what do you do?
I think I'm going to dig out like we did the
armory.
chat thing once before. I was trying to figure out something new, like a flare or something that will distract the homing missile.
Hey, one of those little guns that the Mando has, right? Like fires a
Yeah,
flare
yeah,
off from the air. That's totally what you've got if you roll.
If I roll well, yeah. This is it XP and a miss in this game?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I should get. I'll take one from when I missed with the thing before.
It's not XP if you get help, just for the record.
No,
It's
but
whatever
that
the
was
final roll is.
this
No,
was for my first.
Yeah.
Cool. So +2. That's an 11. Something works.
Something works. Nice. Where do you fire that flare? Like, describe to me what happens. As you on your speeder bike on this crisscross bridge, the limo going one way, you guys are doing like figures of DNA, like helixes around each other, right?
Yeah, Hela, she glances back and sees the missile coming, and she just pulls out this flare gun and just fires it blindly backwards away from her, and then just drops the gun and keeps driving.
well, that's when, of course, the flare hits one of those like large spans, horizontal spans behind you that crisscross, right? And it goes boom. From behind you, there's just an avalanche of these bridges collapsing into each other, down and down and down. The main structure still remains like mostly intact, but like behind you has just become a complete, like, you know, wreckage. Back over to well, I think blocks. What are you going to do?
So we need to somehow down this ship, I think. And seeing the bridge structure start to like seeing how deteriorated it is and how a simple flare managed to take some of it down.
Oh, no, it was the missile that managed to take it down, not the flare.
Right. It okay.
Yeah.
Is going to look around and see if there's some way to is it like a cable structure perhaps that is?
Yeah, it is now. You know,
hoping to get the figure out a way to get the
Camino's teeth.
Oh, what is it called? The Raiders, the Camino, the Camino's teeth.
I came up, by the way, with a whole bunch of edgelord names for Raider's ship before settling on that.
That is a winner.
Yeah.
You chose well.
Trying to get Camino's teeth snagged up like in the support structure of the bridge.
Okay.
I think that probably just aiming my blaster at a
suitable
cable.
Well, you know what? No. I think the trigger for read a bad situation would be more like if you'd ask me, is there any way to do this, as opposed to you're already doing this, so let's do it as an act under pressure.
Might not be the best. Let's do it. Hey, there we go.
Okay. You do it. If you do it and you tangle up Raider, the thing that you're going to shoot to destroy is also going to go down and cause trouble for Hela. Like Hela is riding along the strut that's supported by this particular like chain, you know.
Yeah.
And like the computer screen shows up you know, like the little target boxes, and it's like warning, like projections going down to the side. So that's your hard choice, is you can do it and tangle Raider up so that like the ship is like slowed down, pinned, or in a fictional positioning to attack. But it's going to mean that Hela's going to have to do some fancy flying to not get taken out by this as well.
Hela's a pretty solid solid speeder bike rider. I think that she'll be fine.
Cool. Well, you shoot the precisely right, like the little pinpoints anchoring this bit, and then it just goes like a long like groan that echoes down this whole valley. Then yeah, and like the tendrils like wrap around Camino's teeth and send it spiraling down, but then it crashes, and it's basically like sliding along this bridge strut that Hela's currently riding along, like the ship grinding behind her, collapsing the structure beneath it as it goes, you know. So Hela, make me an act under pressure to get out of the way of this, I think.
Think that's necessary? Well, okay, you're the GM. I'll allow it. So that's cool, right? +1. That's a 6.
That's a 6. Do you call for aid, or do you get thrown from the bike?
Yeah, if someone can help me at this point, I'll gladly take it.
I could try to throw a grenade and create some sort of cover for you, a ramp that you can jump off instead of falling off.
I'm not seeing how throw a grenade stops you from falling off the bridge.
Oh, okay, she's falling off the bridge. Yeah, it can. Of course it can, because there are always cables and structures. So the grenade will blow up some of these structures and create a ramp that she can drive down on instead of falling off, right?
I love that. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, can I roll that with cool? Is that cool enough to roll with cool?
Yeah, go for it with cool.
Okay. Yeah, it's a 10.
That's a 10. Nice. So that pushes you up to a partial success on an act under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And the choices, your bike gets wrecked, or you lose Whisper.
I'll have to give up the bike then. Sorry, Tags.
You'll make it up to me later.
Yes, I think the explosion creates the ramp, but we hit the ramp too hard. The bike crashes into it, and I can tell that this is going to just spiral out of control.
It's got to slide along the bridge, right? Tip over the side, and Hella's rolls off the bike, and we don't see, or one of you is going to be like dangling from the bridge, and the other one's holding it. Do you want it to be you, or do you want it to be Whisper?
I think I'm the one dangling. Like I push her off the bike first.
And she just dives over the edge and grabs you. Hold on.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me.
Back over at the limo. You guys are pulling ahead now. Tags, what do you do?
Dang. Okay. Wow. Tags really was to save Hella. But we probably should take out the target, or otherwise he'll whip around and kill her anyway. So
and you can see the Camino's teeth is like sparking and smoking, and the engine's struggling in like the wreckage around there.
Is there any way to gain some air? It just
yes, entirely. Yeah,
I will do that.
You're gonna kamikaze ram it?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's terrible. I told you that this beautiful, wonderful, amazing speeder wouldn't make it. I just didn't realize it would be my fault.
Passengers, do you stay in the speeder as it turns around and it starts gunning straight?
I'm gonna ram it. Maybe you guys should bail.
It's never a jetpack around when you need it.
Blocks?
What? I'm not a Mandalorian.
Blocks, I think, is actually going to stay in for the moment, and hopefully, if need be, try and land on the Camino's teeth.
So I'm kind of, you gun around, the camera goes wide right, we cut into the ship, into the speeder, you say those things, and then Blocks feet like magnetized,
crouches up, yeah,
and maybe I was imagining you put a hand on Tag's shoulder and the other hand on Quake's, right? Like as you sort of all braced in this sort of ramming position, racing towards where the Raiders ship's moving away, and Hella and Whisperer dangling into the void below. So Tags, you know what? I think this is a kick some ass, frankly, with the ship as the weapon.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I would like to use the flying bonus.
You get to.
Okay, cool. I am not great at kicking ass though, so that's the only +1 I have. But hey, this is great, and I think the
others are in a position to help you with this as well now, thanks to the fact that they stayed on the ship.
I will definitely call for aid. And I think the last thing that she says as they take off through the air is she looks over at Quake and says, "We're not going to make any money on this run."
We saved Whisper. We're going to make money on this run.
We're not gonna. You calling for aid, aren't you? I imagine.
Yes.
Yes.
Who wants to help me?
Blocks.
Well, I want to. But
Blocks.
I'm
Blocks
busy.
is trying to make it to that other ship.
I think you're the one helping.
So
Well, I can imagine a big, heavy laborer droid being able to help with essentially ramming into another thing or protecting the passengers from, being turned into paper foil. Maybe like you describe maybe like grabbing, like using your body to brace them, or like.
I think like at the moment where impact might do a little bit of damage to some organics, Blocks pulls both Quake and Tags into like the back of the rear seat.
I was kind of imagining you crouching down in front like a sort of kneeling figurehead on the limo,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like a hood ornament.
Oh yes, on the
ornament.
hood. Perfect. Yeah, he is. Blocks is a little blocky, so blocks.
That's a roll plus tough, I think. Yeah.
Plus the assisting. Blocks is good at helping.
Nice. So that bumps it up to a 7 to 8. So you exchange harm. So you're gonna smash straight through like the side of the cockpit of the Camino's teeth, right? Like you're gonna you're gonna break his teeth, essentially.
Oh, nice.
Right through the thing. The limo is gonna take heavy damage.
Yeah.
It's not gonna destroy it entirely. Like we lost the speeder bike, but the limo is just damaged, essentially, right?
Sure.
Just put down the condition damaged as a tag,
Oh yeah, I need to put the limo speeder in there, and I'll put damaged.
Yeah, just as a thing for bookkeeping purposes, really, and from spending creds and everything. But yeah, crashes, smoke. Whisper pulls you up hella as you both hear like the, and then Camino's teeth like rolls over on its back with the momentum, and the limo comes crashing through and skids. However, Blocks. So the limo got damaged. Everybody on the speeder as well, because this was an exchange of harm, is going to take 3 harm as well.
Rough, yeah, but that was the cost.
Mm-hmm. And it's quiet. Quake. You're the first to pull yourself up out of the wreckage. The limo's like sparking thing. Maybe like, you have to kick your way out through the busted door, kind of thing. Like the little locks won't go down anymore.
First thing I do is check on tags, because no matter how much money we will make off Raider, and no matter how much I want him to face justice or whatever, I still want to see if she's okay. I'm a medic at first, so if she needs evac or anything.
Well, Tags is Tags, describe how broken you are. You're 4 out of 7 harm when you're unstable.
Yeah, unstable, broken harm. I think it's a thing where Blocks grabbed her, but she still threw an arm up, and some of the glass and metal and stuff just tore up her arm, and she's cut one of her lecus, hanging a little limp. She looks rough.
Yeah, okay. But she's unstable, so she should have immediate attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll do that. And I say, Blocks, I'll need to just fix up Tags real quick. But if you can go and
you don't see Blocks.
Get that guy. Damn it, where's blocks?
You turn
Okay,
to
whatever.
talk to blocks,
I
and
will
there's
take
just
care of
half
it.
the front, like a big chunk of the front of the land speeder is just gone, where blocks was
I'll have
previously
to
standing.
I'll have to trust blocks to just not be wrecked by this whole thing. I think I need to do some very quick first aid on tags, just
Okay.
to stabilize
medic.
her. Yes, I will
And
try
then we
that.
will take our break because I've just seen what time it is.
Mhm. Okay, let's see if that works here. Yes, it's 7, so you get stabilized. I will stabilize you. You don't get to harm back, but I will stabilize you.
Take it.
And of course, we're going to cut on as you're doing, that, and then you just see Tag's eyes widen when a shadow falls across and the prime of a gun, and you hear, "I thought you were a warrior, but I see now you're just a medic." Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. And we'll cut for our break. Hella, Whisper has pulled you up. It's smoky. Something came crashing down on the highway near you. You can hear voices and the echo of the ringing, the bridge, the collapsing things around you, the noises of a TIE fighter squadron going overhead, and Whisper just looks at you and says, do you think they made it?
I sure hope so, or we're walking back to the ship. All of us, or just you and me, I guess.
I mean, the bike's gone. That speed is not going to go anywhere. I mean, what should we do?
We have to take care of Raider. Maybe he's got something on the ship.
And you hear it as one of the engines off Raider's ship goes up the side of the bridge. And she just watches it go down and then looks up at you and goes, yeah, okay. What's your immediate action, Anders?
I have to go check on the others.
Okay.
Do I have any idea? Like, I don't know.
Read a bad situation as you look around you and you try and find out what's going wrong.
Yep. That's sharp.
And we're in full on, like, fog of war type shots now. We had big open spanning ones. Now it's all close shots of like the wreckage all around you and the slightly inhuman scale of this collapsed bridge and the ship and everything.
That's a 7.
So it gives you 1 hold for the read a bad situation.
Yeah. I guess what's the best way to protect the victims would be how to protect the rest of the crew. Does that work?
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, what's the best way to you hear, as Whisper starts to speak, you go quiet. And you just hear that last line of what Raider just said there, and like, I thought you were a warrior, and then the prime of a blaster thing. So you get +1 as the smoke clears for a second, and you can see that the wreckage of the limo is below the sort of hanging wreckage of the Camino's teeth, and you are kind of like on a mid-level in between the two things, and you can see through the smoke like a figure standing with a blaster rifle pointed right at the back of another person in clone trooper armor. So you can just see 2 sets of clone trooper armor at the moment through the smoke, and clearly the best way to do would be to go through there.
Yeah.
Would be to leap directly on top of them from there, perhaps.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'll do that.
Okay. Roll to protect someone. Roll plus tough. You get +1 thanks to having asked read a bad situation.
Yeah, so +2. That's a 12. Oh my God, it's like this today.
So tell me what your extra effect is.
Let me see. There it is. 10 plus. Oof. I guess all impending danger is now focused on me. It's
Nice. So he's
get away
gonna
from him.
Boomf. You come tumbling off the side. Whisper goes, "What should we?" Ah! Crashing down, clatters down to the ground. So all impending danger is now focused on you. You'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. It does make the blaster go off, and this is you can see that this is not just a blaster, actually, it's a disintegrator rifle.
Jesus.
So Quake does take just 1 damage AP from that as it singes through the clone trooper armor, but it doesn't take the full brunt that he was going to get from point blank range. And as you're going around, Raider is going to punch you as hard as he can with the back of the disruptor rifle, and that's going to deal you 2 harm, but your armor will take up 1 of that.
Cool.
But he is now locked in with you, and you can see him as he struggles, as he rolls over with you, and he does some sort of Clone War jiu-jitsu type thing, right? But his rifle gets tangled in the wreckage, and he pulls out this vibro dagger, and he's focused on you. We cut over to blocks. You're in the wreckage, you're punched in there. And you can see you're on about the same level that Hella and Whisper just were. And Whisper is peering over the edge, blaster raised, not got a clear shot on anything. And then you see a shadow fall across her. And Askar the Bloody having slinked his way out of the wreckage of Camino's teeth and worked his way around, stands behind her with a pair of I don't know what's the most appropriate thing for it. Maybe some sort of long kind of dagger vibro dagger that extends from a sheath on his arm kind of thing. He's got Wolverine claws sort of style. What do you do, Blocks?
Who is this person?
He is. Oh, you weren't there for the first session, were you? Because you had to leave early. Sorry, I forgot about that. It is a Black Sun assassin / lieutenant who recognized Quake. Who they crossed and fought and nearly stole Quake's vibro sword off him, but it was a big martial arts fight in the middle of a room before he ran away like a little girl. Well, like a little youngling, I should say. So, what do you do, Blocks?
Well, Blocks is very mission focused, and Whisper has now become part of the mission, of course. So Blocks is going to quickly head over and try and tackle this dark figure. I'm sure that Quake relayed to Blocks the past experience with
you know what? You recognize Askar the Bloody. In your databanks, you recognize him meeting with Professor Dim on Coruscant.
Probably to say all I remember is there's been a change of directive.
Nice. Yeah. It's the sort of shadowy figures talking to each other sort of moment. It's like the Leia bending down to hand R2 the thing. You don't see what she's saying really. She just go, okay. But what do you do? What's the action that you take here?
You're gonna tackle, head over and tackle to try and keep. I'm not sure if it's necessarily to inflict harm or if it's mostly to protect.
Protect someone,
I think it's
yeah. If it was just to kick some ass, it would be he'll stab her and then you'll attack him. Whereas protect.
Yeah, no. I want to keep Whisper hale and hearty.
Yeah,
as can be. Where is?
And he's as he strikes, he just says one thing to her, to forcing her to turn around and gasp. And he said, just before you arrive, and he says, even a whisper is too loud in the ears of Black Sun.
He says in a whisper.
Yes, yeah, which cuts over the whole wreckage and noise around you. And then let's see what blocks rolls. Protect someone with
chunk. I rolled it.
9.
Rolled a 9, 7 + 2.
Cool. You are gonna take
Suffer some harm.
You are gonna suffer some harm for sure. I did stat up him at some point. Yes. He's got his vibro things, like knives, and he's a master of Terakasi. So he's gonna deal 3 harm to you.
Oof. That's some damage. It slices through some servos.
But do you just run and tackle it, or maybe you grab that arm as he?
No, it's a running tackle. Like there's
tackle,
not trying
nice.
to be.
Yeah,
it's not trying to be.
And he does some
adept at
more
it.
martial arts. He's, like you slam him through, and you're a droid. You're huge, right? And you're much, much heavier than he is. He's just some sort of scrawny sentient, but he moves like, like he has no bones, essentially, right? And he just sort of like oozes around you and stabs you in the knee as you like go up and you grab him, fling him down to the ground, and now he's just like martial arts combat pose in front of you.
Does some sort of like backflip and then lands like.
Yeah. Needless flips aplenty, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Down in the Raider fight, tags. Hela's a, wrestling with Raider. All of his attention is focused on her.
Sweet. I've got to whip out my riot gun and just.
And I'm imagining yours sort of like slumped up against, like sat up against the side of the limo where Quake is working on you, right? And it's like the sort of Terminator pushing aside and bringing up the shotgun kind of style thing.
How did she get in here? But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to squeeze off a shot, even though it's not the best setup for it.
Okay, and that's a kick some ass.
Yeah, it is, which I'm not great at, and I'm not flying anymore. Oh, 4.
Oh,
I'll take it. I'll take.
You'll take it. Oh, nice. So you take it. Boom! Right, Quake. You're still bent over, Tags, when this shot goes off, right? So it's like a boom, and we just see like in the shot, and Tags' shot, boom. But Raider like spins and ducks just out, like lands on the ground, like he was about to stab Hela, and he just throws himself out of the way. And then he flings that vibro blade straight back at you, Tags.
Yes.
That is another 2 harm.
Oh, I still have armor though, right?
Yes, you do.
That is 5. That is 5 harm. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm scared.
Like I think
does she get unstable again?
Yes, I think she does, because I think like you've got this very nicely like sealed up win on one side, and then the vibro blade goes into the other one, like the Black Knight in Monty Python, right? Like it's Quake. What do you do?
I was surprised because I didn't expect this. Also, I'm not feeling very insulted. I think what I'm gonna do is he doesn't have a weapon in his hand right now, right?
He doesn't right now, no.
Okay, then I will see that it stays that way, and I will yell to Hela and Tags and whoever is listening, stun him. And I will engage, but only to just keep him from getting his weapons, right? And hold his attention.
Okay, yeah, we're going to into a clone wrestling match almost.
Yes,
yeah. I love it. And all these sort of holds that are only possible thanks to like the armor locking up and supporting like different things, right? And pins. I love it.
Yeah, I mean he's probably better at it than I am, but I don't want to hurt him or take him out. I just want to hold him.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the point.
this is a kick some ass, where both of you are dealing essentially like immobilized damage to each other. You know what I mean?
I don't want to kick his ass. I want the others to kick his ass.
You do, but you're still when you
Okay.
wrestling is still kicking ass. You know,
Okay.
if you pin someone in a UFC fight, that's still kicking their ass as much as
Okay.
punching in the face.
Ah, okay. Then I will do that. Probably not going to go very well because I've rolled too well already, but we'll never know.
Ah,
Oh,
there
it's
we
a
go.
10. Wow.
Clone wrestling. Nice.
Yeah, clone wrestling is it's a thing. So at a
My
10,
God. It came off the thing like the Undertaker in 1945.
yeah, yeah, I'm doing a very I'm doing a very defensive style, and I will tell him, you know, that's not an insult to me. And also I do want to, gain the advantage. Yes, I want to gain the advantage. That's
plus
what I
one forward
want.
to
So
all
I
other.
can get a +1 forward to whoever needs it. Yeah.
Nice.
And
So
you said,
Quake,
yeah.
you've got Raider pinned.
Mhm.
Tags your bleeding, coughing up blood for a vibro blade. Hella, I'm going to cut back to you after we cut over to blocks in this one-on-one fight with Ash. You know, we got these duel of the fates stuff going along.
Oh my gosh, this is so vicious.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So blocks facing a Terrakassi master. What do you do?
Yeah, Blocks realizes that he's no match hand for hand. So I think that he's going to try and escape, essentially. Are there in this section of the ship? I'm hoping that there are some blast doors that might be still functional.
If you want to grab, you're going to leave Whisper behind. He's not for you. Know, it's that if you're moving away, his eyes just lock back on Whisper. You're just an obstacle for him. But you're going to try and grab Whisper.
I guess that's true.
You're going to try and grab Whisper and jump into the ship, like the wreckage of Camino's teeth. Like you put some cover between.
Yes.
Because I'm kind of imagining it's like hanging over you, you know, like off the edge of a thing, like the belly ripped open by this crash.
Yeah. The way that the Camino's teeth landed when it was downed on the bridge.
Maybe there's like a dangling cable that you can Tarzan up on, kind of thing. Like grab hold of Whisper, try and pull yourself. I think that's an act under pressure to get out of the way of a. And if you do that, we'll put you like up there and kind of in view of the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be directly above the other group now, so that everyone can.
Yeah, we need to get Whisper away from this danger. Mixed success.
He is going to break your I broke your armor already. Your armor seems an obvious one to break, to be honest. I think that's the cost of it. Is you know, you swing, you grab Whisper, and you sink, like slices through, and a big chunk of you goes, and Whisper screams as you're like sailing through the air, like towards the ship, and then like, you're okay.
Yes, I've merely shed a few kilos. Nothing that I haven't lost before.
It looks good. Back down on the ground. Hella, what do you do?
Well, Tags is down and Blocks is busy elsewhere, and Quake is trying to get some help. So I need to help Quake, I guess. I mean, if I have a stun setting on my blaster pistol?
You are close enough to use. He's in a perfect position for you to use the stun setting on your blaster pistol.
Yeah, then I will do that. So, or actually, Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not going to complicate things. I'll do that. I assume that's kick some ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm going to give you advantage on that. Oh no,
Oh.
they gave you advantage already. It's +1. It's a different meaning of the word, but it's +1 forward, haven't they? That's what we agreed already.
Yeah. +1. So it's +1. So I have that +2. Roll it. It's a 6. God damn.
Gonna call for aid?
Sorry.
You're gonna call for aid?
Yeah, I guess Quake is the only one who's really in a position to help me.
Tags is there too.
Yeah.
And because I think that, like, you know, what we're gonna see is you have the shot, you switch it over to stun, and you like proper, just like perfect shot on him, right?
Mhm.
And then he just looks over his shoulder for a second and then wraps one of his legs around Quake and rolls him up in front of it, right? So now that's why you've got your shot spoiled. You know, you need to call for aid. It's only possible if someone helps you. So tags.
Yeah. Tags.
I think Tags is gonna pull this vibro blade out of. I mean, I think it hit her like right here. It is still vibrating. She
Through
pulls
the
it
armor,
out.
right? Like,
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
through the plate.
it's stuck in there, and so she has to pull and kind of wedge it out. And there's a splort of blood, and winces like, oh, flings the dagger, hoping that it will cause them to move. That's the hope, and she's hoping she does it fast enough that, you know, he's gonna, with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
supernatural abilities, like catch it or try to dodge out of the way, which opens him up.
Well, roll me plus tough.
Awesome. I'm helping with the 0.
I'm helping. Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Well, at least it couldn't get any worse.
Well, he had one last weapon remaining. The grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we have grenades. Lots of them.
Yes. But that's, guess what that vibro blade finds?
Oh.
Shoot.
Well, you know, I mean, that's a good thing. So I'll take it, even though I'm probably dead.
Yeah. But that is it's not going to deal it to Tags, because Tags is the furthest away from this, actually,
Oh,
despite throwing
sorry.
it, and has a bunch of people in. Everybody is going to take free harm involved here.
But armor helps, right?
Armor helps, yes.
I will. So I take 2. I'm going to use my it wasn't as bad as it looked and hope I roll better.
Boy, do I hope.
That's +1.
But it went off directly on Raider, so his armor is now gone from this place.
Yeah.
So it wasn't it was a hard move with a mixed success thrown in just for whatever, you know.
I roll an 8, so I may stabilize or heal 1 harm. I assume I wasn't stable after all this,
Nope.
so I'm stabilized now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a? Do I check that off somewhere?
No, Keeper doesn't
No,
have
no,
stable or unstable. I'll need to stick that in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was on the other. The
So
other one.
Quake, you had a Raider pinned entirely, and then you don't know what happened. You heard Quake go, "I haven't got this," and then you heard Taz go, "Ah!" and then boom.
Okay.
Okay.
So is he
and
still alive?
He is
Oh, damn.
broken armor, and he just stands up and he readies himself, and he goes, "This was the way it was always going to end for both of us on the battlefield."
I'll draw a blaster and stun. And I think I have set it to stun before because
You do the Indiana Jones.
we're going.
You do the Indiana Jones as he
Wow.
poses. You know, when the Indiana Jones is doing the sword, you pull out a pistol instead.
Yeah. Yes. I'm look, we're all hurt. Nobody has time for this guy anymore with his posturing. This is exactly the kind of shit that got a lot of us killed during the war. So I'm just going to stun him, and that's what's happening here. Maybe depends on how I roll, I guess. So I got to roll with tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
See how that goes. Yeah, it's 13.
Nice.
See?
And if you choose to do terrible harm, you'll knock him out.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will do that.
So he's only going to do.
And basically, what I say is, shut up.
You do that posturing. He punches you a couple of times. It bounces off your intact armor, right? He's like fists bunch on it, and then you just push him back and oof, just to. Because you didn't choose to take no harm, but he can't do much too harm to you anyways, because he doesn't have his vibro blade or his blaster anymore.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
Yeah. And
Maybe he was trying to get the armor off. Because punching the armor is kind of ridiculous, but maybe he was trying to get the armor off or getting into the joints or something.
Oh, he had his fingers dug into the plates, right? Like pulling away at it. Yeah.
And I'm just stunned, and I said, shut up already. Shut up already.
Oh, I really like that idea. Is it okay if I inflict that harm at you as a -1 of your armor for now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah?
It's fine.
Okay, so he damages your armor, but then you thingy. Perfect.
Okay.
Which just leaves blocks dangling from the like the upturned belly of the Camino's teeth as Ashes 3 like looks up and does that whole like, you know, centurion like gladiator kind of salute thing, like pointing at you with the blade. And then bows down and leaps seemingly impossible distance directly onto the hull of the Camino's teeth, and he grabs onto it with one hand and flips himself around, and now he's like staring up at you, and Whisper screams and goes like, what the hell is he made of? And now he's pulling his way up. All you guys below, like as the raider goes down, you're like, whew, and then you just hear Whisper scream. And above you on the Camino's teeth. So Blocks, what do you do?
Still not no match for so what am I dangling from, holding on to Whisper?
I'm imagining the Camino's teeth is no longer like on its intended axis, you know? So you like,
right.
You've got like a cable that's coming from it, and you sort of swung up into like this ripped open belly, and you can be like on the hull or like sort of kind of like clambered on to like some component of the ship that's sort of dangling over the thing. And it was a massive distance away from him originally, but he somehow cleared this distance. And he says, Pandit Morg will have my head if I don't come back with her. Leave it, Hunter. We'll pay you.
I'm already being paid. I think that Pandit Morg will have your head no matter what, and is going to straighten himself up and use his blaster to take aim.
Can I imagine that you shove Whisper like onto a more secure bit, right? Like push her away and then lean back out again with your blaster rifle as he's climbing up the thing towards you like a
still using the cable.
Yeah.
Using the cable to steady himself and take aim with heavy blaster. Kick some ass. There we go.
Kick some blasters. Nice. What's the extra effect you're going to take?
Oh, fun. List.
Inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm, force them where you want them, gain the advantage.
I think inflict terrible harm. That's got to be it.
Nice.
I can still handle a bit more destruction on my body. It might take a bit more recovery, but
yeah, well,
got to try and take them out of the fight as much as quickly as possible.
You fire that first shot, and he like just one-handedly like does this incredible traverse over to the other side of like, you know, the bit of wreckage that he's climbing across. And then as he swings back around, he flings one of those, like he presses a button on the side and that vibroblade fires out of the launcher on his wrist, slamming like directly into his torso, dealing another 3 harm to you. But then as he like props, it's like swings backwards and then leaps forward and he's about to close as you bring up the blaster rifle and well, heavy blaster pistol actually, isn't it? I think you've got.
Yes, heavy blaster pistol.
Yeah. So imagine that as a huge, chunky, oversized thing would be very cumbersome for an organic to carry, right, in their tiny hands. But you've got big, chunky robot hands.
That's exactly it.
And he just
swinging around like this. It's just physics, and physics is just math, and droids are nominally good at math.
Nice.
So I know exactly where he is arcing.
The perfect
through
point.
his jump
gets blasted off, and of course, you know, we just see the smoking cinder fall off the side of the bridge through the hole, going down towards the open bay deep beneath you, in the middle of this valley, like, you know, trees and a big long river running beneath this massive bridge. And he splat. You know, we don't see any more of Asgar the Bloody. He's been driven off by the 3
Yeah, but that 3 harm without my armor would take out any organic.
It goes
so
right
I
through
think
you,
there's
maybe,
probably
like hits the ship behind you, like sink, sink, like right through. So
yeah. So I'm an unstable droid at this point. Probably some other damages.
Well, we're at quarter 2. We've dealt with all of the combat. I think that we can, you know, as that thing goes down off, and Whisper just pulls it out and, like, you know, looks down and goes, "Did we make it? We all good? We're good."
Yeah. Great. Whisper.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up
Yeah.
from Whisper, like peeking out from behind Blox's sparking body.
I can't believe that she's a spy.
They say I'm not even the worst spy ever.
Rich knows who the worst spy is.
Yeah.
Me too.
And Star Wipe, I think, to Vac Pint Hoth, where you're loaded up. The Loth Wolves have made it there as well. You know, just shaking hands and sort of like, you know, background kind of shot, establishing shots rather than like, you know, conversation, unless you want it, of course.
Hugs all around, although maybe after the first one, Tags winces and maybe just like pats people on shoulders because she's in rough shape.
And there's those rebel guys with the sticks, you know, like pointing everybody, cues. "We gotta go. Iron Fist is gonna be here anytime. The 3rd Fleet's being driven back."
Let's go.
I think that Blocks actually is going to pull Whisper aside for a moment and say, your superior.
You don't even pull her aside. Whisper is a techie as well. So actually, what we see is a Vac Point Hoth, is, you know, there's the thing is she stops and she's going to stabilize you while you're talking. Like, she's going to be working on your panels and stopping.
Oh yeah. Is soldering some wire connections. We see like those. For some reason, it looks like a welding. Of course, there's sparks flying as she's working on my chest. You mentioned your superior, the operative uncle. What exactly was your? Did they tell you to? Was your mission from Uncle?
I mean, Uncle's a code name. You know what a code name is, right? like you're called Blocks, but you've got a real designation, right? Like a code name.
Yes, I am aware.
So Uncle is a code name for, I guess, like my handler. I don't know. I've been embedded here, well, my whole life, I guess. And these guys, they rescued me from a Zinj squad, and then I joined up with, they told me an intelligence agency, but I'm really just like, I like the numbers, and I sliced into things. And yeah, it turns out that they've been funneling money all through, and Uncle's the guy I report to, I think. I don't know. There's a lot of, you don't really talk to him face to face, but he seems like he's got good reasons for everything.
But you do have a way to communicate with him, where you pass him messages, he passes you messages.
Ooh. Oh yeah, we got a secure line on the Spynet. You're muted, chat.
Sorry, yeah. So I think that it's probably not going to be the most effective way, but Blocks I want to try and get the contact information, the secured Holonet contact information for Uncle.
You can have that. She'll give it to you. You saved a life.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else anyone wants to do before we call it here? We can go into a quick round of epilogue-y sort of stuff or whatever, and then hopefully we'll have time to do a very quick sort of feedbacky bit.
Sure. I don't have anything I want to throw in. I'm ready to go to the apps.
Okay. Everyone can pay themselves 8 credits again. And we are gonna, we all 8 credits. Do you want to -1 it for the pool? Actually, so it'd be 7 instead if you're all going to contribute to the ship's upkeep. Although I think the ship's pool remains at, remains at 4 thanks to Sabine putting some stuff in, so it will remain at 4 now. So the ship is fine, although the comms are still damaged from it, just in terms of where we pick up next session with downtime and operations and everything. Everyone has their 7 credits after paying for the ship upkeep. And now, I guess, I'm going to ask, I'm going to start with Blocks because he's not coming back, whereas everybody else gets to return. Blocks. Scenes, drive. Do you want to roll your drive? What do you want to do?
Yeah. Having gotten this contact info on Uncle, definitely something to go off and follow up on. Since Uncle seems to know something about Blocks, New Republic intelligence, double agent, triple agent, who's to say? All these spooks are a bit too much.
If you spend some money on your drive, I'll give you like what Uncle wants from, like what Uncle's intentions towards you was.
Yeah. So what's the
just spend credits on drive.
Drive.
It's just
Gotcha.
below your, find and discover the fate of your lost owner. So if you spend 1 or more on there, I don't know if you want to actually discover it or if you want to keep that pin in that for later things, because you could conceivably put all of your credits into drive and roll the retirement roll now. And that would just be...
I don't think that Blocks is out of it. Blocks is probably not.
That doesn't
enough.
necessarily mean that you're out of the whole of Star Wars Sundays or even Bounty of the Week. That just means that you've found or discovered the fate of your lost owner, because that's how you defined your drive. So I'm just saying.
Yes.
It's up to you.
Yeah. No. I think that he still needs to do some other repairs, so he's just going to push in. He spends 2 creds following up on the Uncle info and hoping that it brings up some other memories of his interactions with Professor Dim.
Well, what you find out from the code, you send a comm to the code cylinder asking about Professor Dim, and Uncle sends back, no hard feelings, droid. I just can't risk you falling into their hands. Your professor was working for the wrong people. And they found what they wanted. And you hold more, and you could be the key to them finding more. Stay safe. Stay clear of them. And maybe I won't have to close this dangling thread off.
No intentions of letting myself be taken in by Black Sun or any of their other operatives.
Well, we're agreed on that. Call disconnected. So yeah, Uncle was basically, you were too dangerous. Your knowledge of whatever Professor Dim was looking for is something that he wants to keep out of other people's hands, and he's willing to do whatever it takes for it.
My knowledge, but I don't have any particular knowledge. Do I? Have there been stored records somewhere deep in my positronic matrix?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you're not rolling with time, I think that's where we'll leave is Blocks. Do you want to send Blocks off on somewhere after? Since
yeah, I think that he probably is going to go and follow up on some more leads.
I tell you
much as he can.
What Uncle ends that message with is, but if you're determined to do this, and you've shown you can keep yourself safe, maybe you'll want to look here, and I'll give you coordinates to somewhere, right? So he's good, but go alone. That ship of yours is too conspicuous. So yeah, now you're off on a little mission from Uncle. You're on a mission from Uncle.
A mission from Uncle.
Yeah, the droid from Uncle. Cool. Okay. Does anybody? Well, let's go around. Quake. Is there any last scenes or anything you want to do?
I don't know. Quake will end up going to see Raider before they take him in. Just yeah.
New Republic like shackles around his thing, sat in like one of those benches with a force field in front. Yeah. Traitor.
Yeah, I'd deserted when the Clone Wars weren't even really over, so I've heard that before.
This won't stop me.
It does, though. You, Raider, you might want, the Clone Wars has been done for 30 years, so you might want to pull your head out of your ass and start thinking for yourself a little. Just,
War.
You don't have to follow that propaganda. You don't have to follow the brainwashing we're supposed to be.
War never
just
changes.
saying, you won't listen, I guess, but
yeah. I'm glad Anders got that one.
Sorry,
he says, war never changes. It's a fallout thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you leave two sides of the same, seemingly, and then is there anything for Hela?
This is tricky because now I have well enough creds to actually fill up my drive track. So, and
mechanically,
yeah,
filling up your drive track is actually fairly easy over 2 missions, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah. But I also feel like this mission, she like almost died 3 times in fiction, not mechanically, at least, and going through a war zone and all of that. I think she's at least had enough of adventure, maybe.
Okay.
So
You want to roll your attack because you did shape your drive as achieving a life of comfort.
yeah.
So are we saying that you're going to roll your retirement now, or do you want to wait?
I want to think a bit more
Okay.
about it. I think what we see is that she's pondering this. She's in the Bacta tank again, of course, because she's badly injured. She's not the only one who's badly injured, but she has her turn in the Bacta tank, and now she has these flashbacks to the Black Sun as she had before, but she also has flashbacks from this mission, from hanging above the valley and explosions and fire and not having a good time.
Okay.
But I think
so. You don't want to do it now. We can pick that up next session in terms of whether you want to do it. Okay, Hela's around for at least one more session. You can rephrase your drive at some point as well if you like, no cost.
Just one thing. I had a look at the retirement move, and I think there's some repeated conflicting stuff. Line 180 and the table under there, and line 187 seem to say different things. But that's a minor thing.
Yeah, it makes my head hurt every time I look at that move, to be perfectly honest. I'll leave that with Rich to sort out because he groks it better than I do.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. And then tags, finally. Anything? Smoking ruin of the limo. Kark.
Yeah, that limo was nice. The speeder bike was nice. Gonna burn some creds to heal up. So that'll be 2 because that's a lot.
Well, if everyone wants to spend their creds to heal up, and then it seems like a neater way to do it.
Don't you want to get into the Bacta tank with Hela?
With Hela. Ooh.
Fellas, that's gonna be some weird mind meld. Of course, Tags would be into it. She'd offer.
I'm totally willing for that to apply in this end of series technically ending, right? You can both benefit from the back to tankless once and just spend the 1 credit each on healing up.
I'm gonna spend 2 creds and make the retirement roll, but I don't think she's gonna be retired. She's just gonna open her club
and have a bar on the rock. Yeah, nice.
And have to, basically. Yeah, so as we take a look at the move, she has checked 6 drive tracks. 6 boxes. So 5 to 6. Actually, I'm gonna spend 1 less cred. It could be just that terrible because the way it's written, 5 to 6 gives you the same benefit. That is a roll plus 0, so it's a flat roll.
Okay.
My goodness, this seems unwise, but I'm gonna do it. And I actually closed the roller, so give me a sec. I gotta reopen her.
I would offer to just roll for you, but I feel you have to roll your own retirement.
Oh, absolutely. I've got it. That is an 8.
On an 8, you retrieve your drive, but it costs you something. Describe the compromise you make or cost you pay to finally achieve your goal of running a dance club on the rock. So,
yeah, I think she doesn't get it clean. I think the Jorgo, the hut, has some of his guys moving in, and they'll be operating out of this place. She kind of owns it.
Earthburner, we've made negotiations with the Itorian. Don't worry, business will be good. And you know, we cut across to an Itorian walking down an alleyway somewhere, and then the owner of that place. And at some point, Tags is going to find out how the Hutt cartel ensured that you had this place, and they certainly feel that they're owed a take of it now. So you have think about what you want to call your club. I definitely want to have some of that fleshed out next session, Rich.
Yeah, sounds
There's
fun.
another place on the rock. Keeping in mind that the Hutt cartel is pretty openly feeling that they own a big stake of this now, not just the sort of friends that you were before. This is the complication, right? Is that they
Yep.
maybe
That's the complication.
maybe a grieving Itorian widow may come to see what happened to it or something,
Perfect.
Cool. Okay, I think that's the end of it all, right? May the force be with you all. This is the end of the series. If everyone's got time for 5 minutes to do stars and wishes, if not, otherwise, but let's end the recording.
Okay, here we go. Thanks for running, Will.